one around. Thank God I've been lucky, not just with Ben, but the two. I'm happy. I've always said I'm a very lucky person. For all the stuff that's happened, I got a lot of stories, as they say. But uh, thank God, I'm right now sitting here in my house. I have a house. That's awesome. Uh, Here in northern Israel with the beautiful view and beautiful family. So for all the other stuff that I did or didn't do to get here, it's good to be where I am and land on my feet or some body part at some time.
I'd say you're resilient, not just lucky. I think that would probably be a good word to describe you, right? Although I just met you, but
Sure, yeah. It just that's the stuff because I've had the stories like my parents divorce and everything like that and other things. It just kind of like things don't phase me as much as my wife gets mad at me sometimes. Like, how come you're not upset by this? I'm like, I don't know. Why should I be upset? It doesn't matter. Like,
I'm
so
actually
yeah.
curious about that. Do you find is that also a personality thing you've always had, or do you find that post divorce you've become more like that? Like I know for myself, a lot of things that used to phase me just don't anymore. Like I have people telling me that, and I even have trouble saying this because I'm so not used to hearing it about myself. But people have said to me, "Wow, Yoel, you're like super chilled." I'm like, "What? Like when did that happen?" Dan, stop laughing. But it's all relative.
Right.
But do
Yeah.
you find that for yourself as well, that it's connected to going through that experience, or it's just your personality generally?
It's a lot of it's just my personality. It's kind of how at least from my perspective, how I got into marriage in the first place. I kind of just like go along. I don't necessarily. So I've been trying not to be. I've been trying to let things bother me, I guess, for lack of a better word. Um, I also went. My divorce is very high conflict. Um, so, but so it was hard because a lot of stuff had to bother me, even though it necessarily didn't.
Your nature wasn't to.
Yeah, my nature is not to fight, just to be okay. Talk about my family from the beginning. That's a big part of it. I was the one who didn't fight.
Yeah.
So, something would be bad or, I'm like, okay, whatever, I can go along and it'll all work itself out. It sounds good and there are definitely some, good parts to it, but it also means, at least, from my perspective, I don't do enough to make it work out. That's the downside of the easygoing personality.
Did you consciously have to work on yourself to change that?
Yeah. So that's what I did back in high school because before that, I was, like I was saying before about how when I never understood why I had to listen to adults, it was more of like a justice thing. That's not right. This is not good. I would get in trouble for defending other kids on the playground or I would, the one time that I was a little chutzpahdik was that I I was a math guy, and some of the teachers who were teaching it weren't. So when they would get stuff wrong, I would point it out and not back down. Not again, I wasn't. I think maybe sometimes I got frustrated as a kid, but like
it wasn't to make them angry. It was because truth should prevail.
exactly justice. And I, found that just wasn't always the right path to take. Sometimes by not fighting everything, you can get to the ultimate goal, whether that's recess or happiness or a good life for yourself and your kids and family. So it is. I think there's a happy medium that definitely needs to be found. I definitely have not found that yet, but somewhere between letting everything go. I don't want to call it being a doormat necessarily, but just being easygoing and getting upset and fighting for every little thing that whether it matters or not.